Welcome to the Nerds Against Normality podcast. I'm Stacey Bowles and I have 6 geese a laying. And I'm here with Harry Bowles and he's got 5 gold rings.
Good morning.
And we're here with Ben Sheridan and he's got 4 complaints from the podcast. So, Harry, what's been going on this week? It's actually been your birthday.
Yeah, that's been and gone.
Forget the last episode we did where we were saying happy birthday. Forget all of that. It's now your birthday.
So just did a low-key thing with a few friends, had a few drinks, still kept my undisputed beer pong championship title intact.
Have you never been beaten?
Never been beaten.
Never.
I didn't know that till afterwards.
Wow.
Our friend Toby Ducky, he almost came close, I think, and then he had 1 beer too many and then he couldn't get it in.
He did tell...
Wink.
He told me in a...
He went limp.
He told... and I can confirm.
Good finish.
There was a point he said to me, because I dropped him back, that... Do you remember when it was maybe like round 2 or 3 and he was just leaning against the wall, looking at the board, and so I think Nathan commented saying like, "Oh, you're really quiet. He's just observing the board, observing the game." And he went, "I think I said something clever." In reality, I was absolutely fucked. So I was just trying not to chunder all over the table.
Oh.
I was like, you can't tell.
Well, I love the guy, but can I just say this on the record? Fuck you, Toby, because you fucking blasted
leave
me
it there.
with a cannon. Which I'm sure the video will be on the socials at some point.
It's going to be really funny.
It was really nice. The lights went off. It was all nice and atmospheric, and everyone's singing happy birthday. And I'm like, oh, this is cheesy. And you could just hear Ben having a little snigger to himself. And I'm thinking, that's weird. Why is he having a little snigger?
He's never happy.
And I also might add that I nailed the beer pong shot whilst you guys were recording.
Oh, he did.
But I did, yeah.
Dickhead.
So that was good. And I was really chuffed with myself. Could sleep well that night. And then... just out of nowhere, Ducky rushed me out of the flanks, come out the trees, man.
About 2 inches from your face.
Yeah, which I swear to God, these things should not. Imagine a party popper, but if it had been on the gear.
Nuclear.
Yeah. If Putin made a party popper, this is what it would be. And he blasted it like 2 inches from my face, so much so that I got a red mark on my head, because I don't have much hair to protect me. So yeah,
As if you had like an afro, it would have bounced back and hit him in the face.
Yeah, there's a very clear instruction on the cannon, which
cannon?
Which you'd think would be more than enough to say that. It's on the confetti gun, which is don't point towards face.
I'd like to say I didn't know either because I was facing Harry holding his cake of choice.
We didn't tell you, Stacey, because you would have told us not to do it.
I mean, our poor dog lost a couple of years of its life.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have jumped in front of it then. To protect its owner, a la Air Force One.
Very good past reference.
No,
Great.
So we booted up Jackbox, had some quiplash. Ben's mum made several appearances.
Several? It was the top scoring word on each thing.
You know, quiplash is a disgusting game, and it's quite funny that the top 2 comments were either 9/11 or Ben's mum.
Yeah.
And it was the crossover I never knew I needed.
And weirdly enough, Ben's mum was voted for more than 9/11.
Takeaway from that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, played a bit of quiplash, played at Nidhogg, which is a stupid little indie game.
Love that game.
Where you stab each other.
That's gotten far more traction out of us as a group than I think any other game.
It cost me like £2 as well.
Yeah, we don't play really every now and again when you load up Mario Kart or Smash, we haven't done Smash in a while, but Nidhogg always makes an appearance.
Because it's so quick and easy. Just
easy to learn, impossible to master.
Yeah.
We came across that by accident.
In Japan.
Yeah.
Oh.
When we went to a gaming cafe.
We also played that really good Nintendo.
The NES Championship.
Yeah,
that was
really
good fun.
Liked that.
That was good. That was a recommendation from Dan.
Tested a lot of old skills I didn't realise I still had.
Friendships.
That too. I mean, that too.
I could see you both being really super competitive.
Yeah, I don't like losing, ever. Which makes beer pong very frustrating for me. That's why we had the cannon. Thought it'd be like doping. We could just go get him out.
So I purchased a game on the PS Store. Mm. I've been a gamer for a long time. I would like to say that I've got a good eye for a good game.
Yep.
And honestly, I saw it on the store and I thought, this is a must-have. Everyone's library should have this game.
Okay.
It's called Squirrel with a Gun.
Oh, I saw you playing this.
I sent you a video.
Yeah, I saw the video of this.
And I saw you playing it on That's
Earlier. Playing earlier.
It came up on my PlayStation feed 6 hours on Squirrel with a Gun. I was like, I think there's probably about an hour worth of content in that, surely.
It's surprisingly deep.
Is it?
Have you finished it?
No.
Right, for the listeners, what is Squirrel with a Gun? Is it like Ghost
It's like
Simulator?
a squirrel,
Okay, I'm with you so far.
and then you get a gun. Whoa! But it's brilliant. This isn't like a super squirrel. You're not super fast or anything. And when he shoots the gun,
It's an average squirrel with a gun.
the recoil sends the squirrel flying backwards. So when you fire, the squirrel goes flying. The ragdoll physics in it are terrible. The animation is shocking.
I saw you do
Oh.
I saw you do like a Mortal Kombat execution
finisher, yeah.
to someone. I was like, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, there's finishes for each gun you have.
Right.
There's different finishes.
God, you wouldn't see that on Attenborough, would you?
No.
It starts off really tame though, because I watched the first bit and you're just a squirrel in some sort of lab and you're having to press buttons.
He's one day away from retirement.
And then once you pressed all the buttons, I think that's when it unlocks the gun, right?
Yeah. And then the agents come.
Why
Yeah,
would we give
and
this
then
that as the reward?
And then it kicks off.
It just kicks off.
Okay.
It's brilliant because also you can unlock outfits. So at the moment I'm rocking a dress. So my squirrel doesn't go on all fours anymore. It stands up on its two legs and it sticks its arms out like a camp walker, and it walks a bit like a Titan from Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Also, I unlocked a beret, so I've got a beret and a yellow dress.
Does it have a bit where the ears go through it on the beret?
No.
Well, that's very inaccurate then.
Yeah.
I will not be playing it.
I would say maybe the graphics aren't top notch.
That's what I bought a PS5
What did
for.
you expect from a game that's called Squirrel with a Gun? Are you expecting Ragnarok?
Yes, quite frankly, I am.
Right, okay.
But for 11 quid or 12 quid, whatever it was,
£12.
money well spent.
Okay.
Then watching wise,
Yeah, what have you been watching?
watching Arcane season 2 dropped. Not all of it though. Netflix are being a bit naughty, teasing us. It's coming out in 3 segments, and there's 10 episodes, I believe. It does look the absolute shit, I've got to say.
Yeah.
It's
It's
animated
quite
very
a
well.
different animated art style though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
it's
I've not seen anything quite like it before.
It's based off League of
League
Legends?
of Legends.
Yeah.
which I know nothing about.
No, neither
so
do
I
I.
would say if you're worried about not knowing what's going on, you don't need to. I think it's if you know League of Legends and you're interested in that world, yeah, you'll probably get a few more nods that I wouldn't get.
Yeah.
But the story does such a good job of inviting you into the world and you care about the characters. I'd say the main bad guy, bad lady, she's very Joker-esque.
Yeah.
She's just a bit unhinged.
Okay.
She's fractured because sometimes she kind of clicks back in and you can see that she's like, oh, I do care a little bit. Like a bit like Joker's like, I'm not actually going to kill the Batman. I'm not a lunatic.
Yeah. I'm not going to go up against the IRS.
I will blow up that hospital.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But I will not kill Batman.
Yeah, the NHS has got more than enough money. It's absolutely fine.
They can rebuild it better.
Stronger, more stable.
Back stronger.
Spoiler alert for anyone that doesn't want this spoiled, just don't listen to this next bit. We think that she's going to perhaps not be the bad guy by the end of it, is our prediction. She's going to turn things around, but then she might die at the end.
Okay.
She hasn't done enough to deserve to live, if you know what I mean. I think her arc is she has to die for redemption.
Yeah.
Because she's slowly becoming an icon.
Yeah.
She is the people's champion is the best way to describe it. She's not
fixer.
politically powerful.
No,
but
she's got the underdog. She's got the people. What's it? Vox Populi is the fancy
Yeah,
word.
she's sticking up for the downtrodden.
And this is the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
Interesting.
she didn't start off that way. She was more Jokerish, like you say, and then in this season she's now becoming a bit...
Well, she's softened. She meets a character which kind of makes her change her view.
All right, okay.
And you can see that transition. I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed season 2. I love season 1, and this is a good little sequel to that. The only thing I don't like is that it's only meant to be 2 seasons and done.
And that's why we think she might die.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing I will say is, but I think this was the same for season 1 as well, it's a bit of a slow burn.
I don't mind that as long as there's enough interesting things going on within the first few episodes.
I don't mind that, but I did find at some points I had to keep reminding myself what was going on, and I wish that we'd gone back and watched season 1 again before starting season 2, because there were so many bits I was like, wait.
Okay, but I suppose again, if you're going to only go in for season 2 of Arcane, you probably have seen season 1.
Yeah.
I'd imagine you should have. especially if it's
I've
new to
just-
us.
Oh yeah, it's a direct continuation.
Yeah,
like it's
yeah,
the next day.
You can't jump
Yeah.
into it.
I've just got a really bad memory, and that's why my favourite anime is My Hero Academia, because every 5 minutes they're recapping something.
Literally.
Christ. Okay. What
If
about you?
anyone has played League of Legends and has watched Arcane, if you could write in and tell us what little pieces that we missed about the game that are in Arcane, that'd be great.
Yeah, and if you do play League of Legends, I've heard it's a really, really friendly community. So if you can just give me some tips on how to play it, that'd be great.
And I've heard that Dota is better.
So have I. Miles better. Because they're really cool on Dota as well. League of Legends, not so cool.
No.
Yeah. They love their Excel spreadsheets. Just off that. Have you seen that joke? Like, I joined a League of Legends lobby the other day and it was really, really wholesome. I was only told to kill myself 6 times.
I didn't realise it was like that.
It's so, again, I'm sure it's, for a lot of it, League of Legends has a reputation of being incredibly toxic.
Really? More
Yeah.
toxic than Rocket League?
Yeah.
It makes Rocket League look babyish.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Rocket League breaks me. Sorry,
Press start. No!
Sorry, Christ. Yeah, it's just the skill level in it is horrific. It's like if I try every now and again, I'll play a bit of Warzone, like Call of Duty Warzone with people, and then you try and be very tactical and try and I'm gonna, and then you try and you're breaching, clearing rooms, you're going from cover to cover. It's like brilliant. Then some cunt jumps over parachutes, pops you in the head, calls your mum, tells you you're dead, takes you anywhere off, shags your wife, and then throws another knife into you, and then prestigious.
What have you been up to, Ben?
What have I been up to? Great question, Stace. Yeah, work's been work. Filming around some fun little locations in London that I haven't been to in a good long while. Weirdly enough, I actually I was filming just opposite my university.
Greenwich?
Yeah, over in Greenwich. So where my university was, I was filming opposite. But I always used to. It sounds a bit weird and a bit cheesy, but I used to come out of the university and you could see Canary Wharf and such from there. And it was like, one day I'd like to do a film in Canary Wharf. That'd be really, really fun. And it'd be nice, because, I'd be up right at the top and I'd be able to see all of London. I'll be able to look down at the university and go, yeah, I made it. I did a lot of hard work and I made it. But I didn't film there. There is an absolute wasteland to the right of that, which seems to be where we're filming at the moment. I'm standing there on the side of the Thames like, I fucking hate this place and everyone in it.
I'd like to imagine you all walking, you're like, oh boy, we're going to Canary Wharf. It's near there.
You can see it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I also saw, film-wise, I went round to my friend Chris and Nat's flat to go and have some lunch, and we decided, Chris has never seen it, we watched This Is Spinal Tap.
Oh, no.
Have you seen This Is Spinal Tap?
No.
Yeah.
You haven't?
No.
So
It's like a fake tour, isn't it?
it is a fake rock documentary.
Based on AC/DC or Maiden?
Not sure. They definitely have that same kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But it's basically about a band called Spinal Tap that were kind of big.
Were they a real band?
No, they weren't.
Oh, okay.
No. So, funny enough, loads of people went up to the director afterwards and said, it was really funny, but could you have maybe focused on a bigger band? So people genuinely believe they were a real band, and the actors play instruments.
So they could be a band.
They kind of were. They actually did
an origin story.
They actually did do an album. I think they released a vinyl record at the time. Existed the Tommy End Records. Apparently, I don't know. But yeah, I saw it once a long time ago and didn't really get it. Because, again, it's very there's not a lot of slapstick or a lot of laughs or anything. It's more just what's implied.
It's quite old, isn't it? When was it made?
70s?
Oh,
It's in the 70s, early 80s.
Is it that?
I thought 80s.
Yeah, it's one of the first mockumentaries as well. But I rewatched it a little bit later and I got it, and then I finally watched it again now and I finally twigged all the jokes and everything together, and it's still so fucking funny. Just there's these little comments, and a lot of it's improvised. So a lot of it's just
Genuine.
Sitting down with the band members, they talk about their their tour and all this. And also they were a big band in the day, but they're not so much now. They're in very much the twilight of their years. So they're sort of playing, sort of selling out 100 seat venues and this sort of stuff. And at one point they actually have to do a dance for a governor's ball, but it's just the complete wrong time and aspect they talk about. They go to a military base to do the coming home parade. They're we just need something really upbeat, really American, and it's a British band. They're yeah, we can do that, mate, absolutely. So they play Sex Farm. Yeah, just so much of it. And you can tell as well when they're improvising because they do when everyone has that sort of rhythm and dialogue when they're like sort of talking over each other a little bit. But it makes it seem really real. They've got a great bit where they talk about they've had, I think, something like 20 drummers in the band. All have died. Like, all of them. Talk about one of them. It's like, oh yeah, that was Big Stubbs. I'm like, what happened to Big Stubbs? Well, he spontaneously combusted once on stage. It's like, is that like, oh yeah. Like, there's about 6,000 cases of combustion per year. And it's like, oh right, okay. He goes, yeah, but it's not really reported on, is it? So how would you know? It's just these really small little moments that really, really kill me. And as someone who really likes, who likes AC/DC and like Metallica and those sort of older bands, I can imagine this being so accurate. And I haven't really played a bit more Shadows of Doubt, did a bit more Dead Space remake. Have just started Ghostwire Tokyo, because that was free on the PlayStation Store.
Yeah, it's November game, isn't it?
Yeah, enjoying it. Seems quite fun. Nice and like free roaming game. And I think I've never been to Tokyo, but they seem to capture it quite well from what I can gather. But I'll do more thoughts about that when I finish it. So, yeah. Stacey, what have you been up to?
I have just finished watching another murdering series because I love killing.
Oh, good.
That's right. I love the murder.
Sleep tight, everyone.
This was an ITV series called Until I Kill You.
Oh, it's got the lady from Ludwig in it.
It does.
It does.
Anna Maxwell Martin.
Thank you.
And it's based on a book called...
You Kill Until I.
No.
All right, then.
Living with a Serial Killer.
Oh, God. You're obsessed, woman.
I know. I go for ages without watching murderings, by the way, and then they just...
You just have a big old streak of it.
Yeah.
It's like buses.
You wait ages for a murder.
Bloody 3 turn up at once.
Now I can't get rid of them. No, it's about a lady in the 90s who met this guy in a bar. They had a relationship. They moved in together. He was a bit strange. He travelled around Europe. He kept drawings, but they were drawings of murders. One day he just went mad and he tied her up on the bed and beat her up and all that sort of horrible stuff. And then I think he runs away or something. He doesn't get got initially.
You don't get got.
Don't get God, get good.
It's an unbelievable story because the police just kept messing up. They never arrested him properly. She tried to warn them that he has killed other people because he admitted it to her when he'd tied her up on the bed and stuff. They didn't listen to her. Eventually they did arrest him after he attacked her for the second time, I think. They let him go on bail. And the first thing he did was come back to her flat and beat her up with an axe to the head. She was lucky to survive.
She survived an axe to the head.
This woman is double hard.
Yeah.
Cold breeze will kill me.
And he didn't get put into prison, I think, until the early 2000s. Unbelievable story. And they've also got a real documentary episode afterwards with the woman that went through it, which is quite interesting to hear her side of events. So...
It does sound interesting.
Apart from that, I'll keep it lighter for the rest of my update.
Oh, thank God.
Murdering's over.
Run over a dog earlier. That was fun.
It was our dog.
It was our dog.
The first time was the accident, but when I reversed, no witnesses.
I followed in Harry's footsteps and went on
Crime Watch.
KMTV to talk about my 4 films. So...
What were they?
They were Alien, obviously.
Boo.
First film ever.
Yeah,
First film ever. First podcast review ever. The Great Dictator, Charlie Chaplin, because he's an absolute icon. The Matrix, one of the greatest trilogies of all time, as we know. And then Hedwig and the Angry Inch, which, if you don't know it, is a drag rock musical, which I subsequently then watched with Harry afterwards. What did you think of it?
It was unique.
God, I mean that you are such a film critic now.
Gosh.
No, but I mean that is in a good way, because it's, you compared it to the Rocky Horror Picture Show,
a modern day version.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though it was made probably 8 years after.
How could it be? Because that would be pre-Alien. And as we all know, it was the first film ever made.
That is true.
Was this a test footage, maybe?
Become the train, Hedwig.
And then they were like, it's never getting better, lads. Let's just get something out there.
I think it's really good. I know you said, so in your interview, you said about it having lots of layers, and I can see why you said that, because the main character is very conflicted within themselves a lot of the time, and not just like the character, a lot of the story around the character, that's all about conflict, and it's just a good funny film. It's got moments where you think, I don't know about that, but
Like what?
when she's getting angry and screaming about her 1-inch penis,
Brag.
We've all been there.
Yeah, of course. All right, some of us.
Must have been warm that day.
Yeah, of course. Jeez. All right, show off.
Yeah.
Oh, was that where the film comes from?
Yeah.
Yeah, which was really hard to talk about on like daytime TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's really
Really
good.
should screen these films before they let people on.
No, it's really good. In my TV appearance, I said I'm amazed that it hasn't become big in the UK, but it's huge in America. And
Is it?
it was this huge Broadway show, and Hedwig's been played by Neil Patrick Harris and all this sort of thing. But for some reason, it hasn't made the jump to the UK.
Question. So was it a film first or was it a show first?
It was a show first, so it started as a one-person drag show. Then it became a Broadway hit, and then it became obviously the big film. But I said on the TV show that I've really struggled to get a copy of it in the UK in the past, and I didn't know whether you could still find it here even. So I've got like a really crappy DVD version of it in the cupboard. But when trying to find it to watch it with Harry, it's on Amazon.
Is it?
Yeah, which is great.
Okay.
So if you haven't seen it, go see it.
It's different. It's something that
Different.
It's not your generic crap that you see all the time. It's something that I think you'll sit down, you'll watch it, and you will talk about it.
Okay.
Because it's something different.
It's really good. The guy that interviewed me, Chris Deasy, he pointed out to me as we were going through it that all my films had a bit of a connection of identity and underdogs in it.
It's a shame that the alien lost, really.
I was really rooting for that guy.
I'd be interested to see what the
It was
politics.
1v5, like in 5, wasn't it?
Yeah, we got and the cat.
Oh, and the
So
cat
that's
and
TV5.
Jonesy, yeah, true.
TV5.
Okay, so apart from that, I've actually seen quite a few new trailers this week with both of you as it happens. First one I saw, well, I haven't seen a trailer of, but I've seen pictures of the Moana live action film.
I've not seen any pictures of this. How's it looking?
The Rock honestly just looks like he's from Pixar. They've really buffed him. I mean, I know he's a big dude.
He's a huge
But
dude.
obviously, Maui is huge, isn't he?
Does he have the hair? Oh, he does have the hair.
He has the hair.
Oh.
He looks
Let's have
exactly
a little
like
look-see of it.
him.
I think that might be a little bit
unknown.
fake.
Oh, okay, good.
As in, like, I think he might be having a
The
bit
hair?
of padding. No, obviously the hair. If anything, that's the only thing that's real.
What, the grass skirt?
Maybe he is just that big at the moment.
As a result of looking at these pictures, I'm sure I read somewhere that he did do slightly different training to look a little bit
A
different.
bit like a demigod.
Yeah, fair enough. I suppose
I
also
haven't
if you
seen that in the Atkins.
and that still as well, if you look in the left-hand side and you look in his left hand, there's a bottle full of piss. You've heard about that?
What?
You've not heard about that?
No.
Where? In this one?
So there is an accusation at the moment that The Rock is consistently very late to set, which doesn't surprise me, and he also just does things like piss in bottles just on set, and just all that sort of
You
stuff.
said he was really nice.
He was
Nice and pissing bottles.
Yeah, you can be nice and piss in bottles.
But you saw the pictures of the lady that's in it as well, playing Moana, presumably.
Yes, who is that?
I also read that she's a relatively unknown actress.
Okay,
so
cool.
That should be interesting.
So it might be her first big role.
Yeah. They look leaked as well, by the way, I think.
Oh, that's 100% not a...
Yeah.
There is only, if you're going to film on an island, which this looks like, or a beach, which that looks like, there is only so much you can do to not stop photos. Like,
Yeah.
they're going to happen.
And if you look in the reflection of the piss bottle, you can see Ben Sheridan.
Yeah, probably having to go and get it off him so we can dispose of it or sell it on eBay. Please look at my account. Suits though. If there's a runner that who was part of that, just keep the bottle, sell it on eBay. Someone will buy that. Okay, I will buy that.
For our listeners, if anyone's selling any bottles of piss,
Yeah, but
Price it.
you've got to make sure they're actual like celebrities' bottles of piss
Not just
as well.
any.
Yeah, I'll know. I want a certificate of authenticity with every single bottle of piss, please, and make it a nice bottle. Actually,
And a picture of them pissing in it.
yeah, absolutely. All right.
wish
So-
you were here.
And talking of live action remakes,
I have them.
we also watched the trailer for How I Train Your Dragon. What do you
Or
think?
How to Train Your Dragon. How I Train Your Dragon.
The sequel to How I Met Your Mother. How I Trained Your Dragon.
Been a lifelong dream of mine. So what do we think of How to Train Your Dragon?
How to Train It.
That's a very different one.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay.
I give up. I'm leaving this podcast.
So anyway, all right.
Spat my
About bloody time. Right, anyway, so we watched the live action remake
adaptation.
of How to Drink Your Flagon.
Yeah. So, just
How
to
to
give
Fix
you a
This
little insight, I love this film series. Right, it's up there with one of my favourite trilogies. I absolutely adore it. I appreciate it's a kids' film, but I love it. All three of them I went to the cinema to see, and I was a little bit excited to hear that they were making it. But I just feel like after watching the trailer, I got a bit ranty because it just. Unnecessary. It just seems like absolutely an unnecessary film to make. It feels like The Lion King 2.0. If you're going to do something with an established franchise, do something fun with it. It doesn't have to be a shot-for-shot remake because that film is already out and I can already watch that film and have a good time with it. I don't care that it's got slightly better graphics than the film that come out whenever, 2008 or whatever.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Harry's Rant of the Week.
Rant of the week.
That's how.
But no, I didn't feel the need for it. It's a film that could have just stayed an absolutely perfect trilogy, leave it as it is. And if they wanted to make a live adaptation, you could do something different with it.
Like, go and watch the trailer. There is the last half of that trailer is when he meets Toothless for the first time. And it is shot for shot exactly the same. Even the same kind of movements as well. That was really surprising.
Yeah, Toothless looks the same.
What studio is this movie from?
And this would be by
Is it
DreamWorks.
I guess that's why I'm surprised to see it having a live action remake, because Disney are obviously in the thick of doing all that sort of thing. But the How I Train Your Dragon series.
You've got to stop drinking before the podcast.
The How I Fix Your Wagon series is fairly new. Like, if you're going to remake something, leave it a while, I think. Because that's why I think the dragon probably looks exactly the same. The only reason why I want to see the Moana live action remake is, yes, I do want to watch The Rock play himself.
And Jermaine as a crab.
Exactly what I was going to say. Yes, I want to watch him sing Shiny.
Were they thinking, will he do the mocap for it?
I hope so.
I hope they just put him in like a crab cosplay.
I would love that.
Like Smiths. 25 quid.
God.
So shiny. We also watched the second Minecraft trailer because video game movies aren't done yet.
I think they're only just beginning.
Yeah, we're in a new age.
I think Minecraft will not hit the heights of Mario, but I think it will do $1 billion.
I'm quite interested to see it, actually. I think Jack Black is partially playing himself, and I love how Jack Black is now just trying to get in all video game movies because he loves video games, but I'm all for it. But I'm not a big fan of Jason Momoa.
I'm not particularly either. I've got nothing against a Minecraft film being made. I think I'm surprised it hasn't happened sooner. There's been a lot of
with the money it makes.
Yeah, there's been a lot of fan films, etc., of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, this film should be... I think this film is just doing the wrong thing, where it just seems to be about the actual story in Minecraft, which is the Ender Dragon and Ender Pearls and all that. Whereas I feel like this should be a thing about imagination. It should be about, you know, a kid that doesn't get a lot of creative output in the real world, but in the Minecraft he does. Or like Steve. Steve should be that. And it just seems that this isn't that sort of film. So I'm wondering if they just completely sort of missed the point of it. I could be wrong. Again, I'm judging off a trailer.
I will say this. The first trailer that they dropped was a fucking absolute clanger.
Shit.
It was shocking. And it got a lot of backlash from gamers, moviegoers, fans. Everyone hated it. It was universally hated.
Men in their 30s.
Yeah. Oh, I shouted at the screen.
Of course. I was with you.
This trailer is a better trailer, and they address the whole clanger immediately by going like, Minecraft trailer, take 2. And this is the trailer that should have come out with it initially. By no means does it look like a great trailer. It's not a great film, but fuck, it's an improvement on the first trailer.
Yeah.
Like, it at least had some humour, which you could kind of go, oh, that's funny. And you can see like, oh, kids would be interested in that.
Yeah.
You're at least appeasing the fans. When he had like, oh, this is my stock room, and he had like the TNT, and he
There's
had
definitely references
flying
there.
boots and the sword. Fans will go, oh, that's cool. I haven't told you this, but I thought this was insane. So obviously the Sonic movie 3 comes out next month. The second trailer hasn't dropped yet. So Minecraft, which comes out next April, has had 2 trailers, which is disgusting. So the Sonic movie that comes out next month has only had 1 trailer. Now, Sega made a genuine Mega Drive cartridge, right? Sonic the Hedgehog movie 3. They made it. They put it in an old Mega Drive box. They gave it a manual and everything, and they posted it out to IGN, GameSpot, all like UK gamers, all the big people.
That's going to be worth a lot of money.
Yeah, so there's not that many made, but on there's like posters in 16-bit graphics. There's little voice clips. There's a mini game with shadow chasing Sonic and stuff. And if you enter the old Sonic 3 cheat code of up, up, down, down, up, 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 it pops up with a Sonic emblem going new trailer 25th of the 11th 24. And now when this comes out, the trailer would have been out. But when I saw it, I was like, man, that's so good. That's so good marketing behind that. That's caring about your project, isn't it? That's what it's about. I was like, brilliant. That could have gone unnoticed.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that. That's really clever.
Very cool.
Yeah, I kept that to myself.
I didn't.
Yeah, I'm assuming they've let, mine's got lost in the post.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is it?
And on that note, let's get on with the film review.
Got the rest of that.
Merry Christmas, everyone, and welcome to this week's review. As it's the season to be jolly, I picked a family-friendly, wholesome holiday movie called Violent Night. The very brief synopsis I stole from IMDb goes something like this. When an elite team of mercenaries breaks into a family compound on Christmas Eve, a disgruntled Santa Claus must take them out to save both the hostages and his holiday. AKA, it's Home Alone meets Die Hard meets Miracle on 34th Street. Directed by Tommy Wakola and written by Pat Casey and Josh Miller, who is more famously known for writing the Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. It stars David Harbour as our hero Santa and, please help me Ben,
John Leguizamo.
that guy as our villainous Scroogey boy. It currently sits on 6.7 on IMDb at time of recording, so a fairly positive reception. The budget was... shoot.
15?
It's gone 15. It's gone 15. £15. Can you go any better? £15.
£14.50.
No!
So you're saying 15.
£14.50.
£14.50.
Yeah.
20 million.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so close.
You was close. And the box office return, have a guess.
You'd have to make about 35 mil for this to break even. I think it made
50 mil.
It's gone 50. It's gone 50.
65.
Pretty close. 76 mil. So it was profitable enough for it to spawn a sequel, which apparently is in the works.
Yep.
So we had a bit of a debate about this, but I was overruled. So this is going to be spoiler free for a film that's 3 years old with a very basic premise, but it's fine. It's cool. I'm over it. But majority rules, and we left the EU. So
Oh, he's got to get the EU thing in there again, hasn't he? God, it's the whole thing for Violent Night. You're just talking about the EU.
This whole film is based around Brexit.
Is it?
anyway, it's going to be spoiler free. We will then go into spoilers at a later time.
Yes.
Go on, Ben, you won the imaginary coin toss.
I did.
Well done, congrats.
What a toss it was.
You should have tried harder, Stacey.
Yeah. Come on, Stacey.
Toss better.
Tried really hard to toss.
What did I think about this film? You pretty much nailed it with the intro there, which is it's Die Hard meets Home Alone meets Miracle on 34th Street. I am amazed this film has not been made earlier because it seems like an absolute slam dunk. Yeah. It's just Santa Claus just being an absolute weapon, which, if anyone's read my fan fiction about Christmas, is exactly what I think he is. I really liked it. Yeah, I'm just going to come and say I really, really enjoyed this film. I'm not the biggest fan of Christmas films, generally. I find they're all very samey. They're all one note. They all cover the same, lessons.
So fucking happy.
They're all about Christmas.
That is the thing with Christmas films.
Just change the setting once in a while. Do something new. Come on, lads.
Is this your first time of viewing?
No, this is my second time viewing it. Because I remember.
When did you watch it first? Cinema?
No, it was just after it came out on streaming at the time. I was about to say DVD, and then I realised this is a 3-year-old film, so it would have been streaming. Oh, God. So I watched it then when it came out, and it was just
meal me own, sat down, and I thought, oh, you know what? I've heard good things about this from Harry and Ducky, friend of the show. I'll sit down.
I am a friend of the show.
Yeah, apparently.
To some.
So you claim.
The enemy of in. Yeah, carry on.
Went back to the EU. So I just sat down and I watched it, and I was just like, you know what? This is just a solid. It's very much like Air Force One, the review we did. Like not in terms of. Actually, no, I guess in terms of that as well.
Those
yeah,
Russians again.
They are trapped in a single location.
trapped in a single location with Santa Claus.
Yes.
But it's very much like turn your brain off, have a laugh, have a few beers with it, or a glass of wine, or a schnapps. What's a Christmas drink?
Eggnog.
Snowflakes.
I have feelings.
Mould cider.
There we go. Crack open a mulled cider.
Do you crack open mould cider?
The way I do it, I do.
Oh, okay.
I always get a can of Strongbow. I'll put it in the
Stick it in
microwave.
the kettle. Boil the kettle. Mould.
And then I choke it down. I go, Merry Christmas, Ben.
Here's to another fucking year.
I'll try and warm my hands on the fireplace I put on the TV. The only thing I will say, it's a very pick up, put down film. I think if you were to, I remember it now because we've just watched it, but I do remember seeing it for the first time and then maybe a month afterwards sort of forgetting about it until we decided to review it. I'd actually forgotten it existed.
Yeah, it doesn't get the love. I feel
No,
like it
it's gone
deserves.
very under the radar. But watching it again the second time means I was just experiencing loads of things again. And as a Christmas film, it's one of my favourite Christmas films now. Because
You're welcome. This was my pick.
Thank you very much. But yeah, really enjoyed it. I thought David Harbour is fantastic as Santa Claus. I also quite like the fact they just leaned into the fact it's Santa Claus. Really inventive fight scenes as well. I think the team had a really good time, like using every single bit of Christmas decoration and Christmas cheer in the book, like the tinsel and the candy cane.
Oh, the sharpened candy.
Yeah,
cane. Yeah, that was gold.
So good. My first vibes, really, really positive. Really enjoyed it. Stace?
Yeah, I agree with everything that you've said. Although I would say it's more like Home Alone meets Die Hard meets Jingle All the Way.
Oh,
Which one's Jingle All the Way?
The
Was that
Arnie.
the British
The
one?
Arnie one.
Oh.
Because this also had loads of one good liners that I thought were really Arnie worthy.
I could imagine if this film had been made in the 80s,
Yeah,
it would have been Arnie doing it, or
exactly.
it would have been Stallone or someone.
Oh, Stallone would have been interesting.
Merry Christmas. There we are.
Happy New Year.
There we are, just a low hanging fruit
my
as per, just kicking the shit out of an old film star.
I think it's a really good surface level film, like you say. It's one that you can switch your brain off to and have a good time. They try to give Santa a little bit of backstory.
It's a fucking good backstory.
I've even kind of forgotten a bit about what it was because it doesn't really matter that much.
We'll come into
does it?
spoilers for it, but it's a bloody good story.
And we'll cover it later, but it's not at the forefront of the film, is it? It's obviously aimed at people like us that want to just have a good laugh and watch something a bit silly.
Yeah, it knows what it is. This
It's
film
like
knows
an
what it is.
adult Home Alone, isn't it? Because it's like Home Alone but on roids with lots of violence.
The director even said that he took loads of inspiration. He
Yeah.
said that what if Home Alone had consequences? So like obviously Home Alone is a bit cartoony, like the paint hitting him in the head. He was like, they would die.
Yeah.
So he was like, why don't we make that film?
Yeah.
Why don't we make that film where if that shit happens, they're gonna die?
Yeah.
They make a Home Alone reference in it at the start, according to my notes, but I just didn't write down what the reference was. So
Oh, that's interesting.
So there you go. And more where that comes from.
Stay tuned for more interesting.
More searing insights from Stacey there.
It is a film.
There was a slightly offensive part of the scene right at the beginning, so I think it's okay to mention, which was the really terrible Bristolian accent.
Oh yes.
So poor.
Is that where that's meant to be?
In Bristol.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I thought that was like...
They all talk a bit like that.
Yeah.
You Santa.
For our American listeners, that is not how people from Bristol sound. I'm not going to try and do
We
For
all
the-
talk like this, actually. We
Yeah.
all talk like we're going to be
And for the
talking to
American
people.
crew, you should be bloody ashamed of yourselves, because that is an absolute sticky wicket you've got right there.
Can one of you do a Bristolian accent?
Oi, oi, man.
West Country accent.
Why are you, man?
A West Country. It's a West Country accent.
Oh, if it's a West Country accent, hang on, let me take a sip of my beer. It's crispy.
What the fuck was that?
Tell me I'm wrong. There's West Country listeners now that know exactly what I was saying, and I apologise for it being so offensive.
Harry, is your turn?
Can't top that. How can you follow that?
Oh, but try.
No.
Go on, give it a go. Give it a go and top that.
Right there, my lover.
There
Is that
we
a bit
go.
better there?
Oh, don't take it. Come on. Sorry, it was flawless.
So yeah, apart from that very offensive moment, no, it was good fun. The violence in it was quite good fun violence, to be fair.
Looked it up on the crew. I thought it was very like sort of John Wick-esque, but again, and I thought, oh, maybe there's been some of the stunt team from John Wick on this, and there wasn't. So I think this just came out in the era when everyone was just like, oh, just do a John Wick thing. But it was inventive.
Do you not think the raid?
Yeah, it was very inventive though with this stuff, like the bit with the.
Oh, don't go into spoilers. God forbid. Talk about spoilers. I want to hamper the review.
You're ruining Christmas, Harry.
Good.
Again.
This is a really random point to say, but I really like the continuity in it because, you know, a bit like when you're watching Die Hard and you're constantly looking at the state of Bruce Willis's vest throughout the film and watching it dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. And that's how I felt about Santa's beard.
Or in general. Because he doesn't exactly have a good time, does he?
No.
Yeah.
He gets the shit kicked out of it.
Santa, for all of his like moves like towards near the end of the film, he's a shit fighter. He cannot brawl. He can't fight. He doesn't want to be there at the start. Oh, for God's sake! At the start, because he's literally like, I'm leaving.
Do you know why?
Go on.
So, I was going to say this for trivia, but this is a very good time to bring it up. So, the power of Santa Claus becomes from people believing in him, and he doesn't believe in himself at that point in the film, and that's why he is not a good fighter, and that's why he can't access his magic. That's why, because he doesn't believe in himself, and as the film progresses and he starts to believe more in himself, he becomes a better fighter. And that's what that is about.
So much nuance in this film.
I know, who's got layers,
I know.
mate.
Well, this film's got layers.
I take back what I said about
Yeah,
it.
It's a service level film. Well, actually, if I just move my scarf out the way.
Please give me back my scarf.
Yeah, you stole it.
It's not really Christmassy. Yeah. On that, just on the back of that, what you said. So,
Yes.
is this? Obviously, I think this is quite a good action film for this. It's just got a very unique concept in the fact it is Santa and it is Christmas. Is this also a good Christmas film? Because if you're going by the hallmarks of things like love and, you know, like family and being together and, like you said, like believing in yourself and all that, does this also hit the mark of a good Christmas film? Because I would say it does.
Yeah, we've all seen Die Hard. All those things featured there.
Yeah.
I controversially would actually go the other way. I couldn't care.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you kind of have
The
to.
family dynamic. You got Mark Wahlberg and you've got Justin Bieber, because that is exactly who they are. He even throws down I would have stopped 9/11 if I was on that plane.
Yeah.
Which is a direct quote
What Mark
from Mark
Wahlberg
Wahlberg.
said, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean about like them trying to put in a bit of background and story and history to the characters, but you don't really care that much because you just want to see Santa beat some people.
You've paid your ticket for that, right?
Yeah. I actually didn't care about their family dynamic. I thought it was actually quite sweet and I quite liked it.
It got more interesting as the film went on.
Yeah, and I think
Because the stakes got
the
higher.
girl is important. The young girl is important to him in the story as well because he's fighting for her. But also, I just love the fact she's like guiding around the house with the walkie-talkies. It hits every trope. It hits every action film trope.
None of them are likeable though, apart from the core three. All of them could die. I couldn't care less.
Yeah,
What did you think of the film? Because it was your pick.
yeah.
Did it live up to expectations?
So I watched this at cinema with my good friend Ducky, and I loved it back then.
Yeah.
And I have to say, my opinion hasn't really changed either way. I didn't think, oh god, it's not as good as I remembered, or it's better. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I think it's a solid 7.5 out of 10 sort of thing. Mm-hmm. I think I could easily recommend it to certain people. You're not going to sit there and go, oh my god, have you not seen Violent Night? You need to watch this film. It's going to change your world. But I think for a good, stupid Christmas fun film, and I have to agree exactly what you said. How has it not been made already.
Yeah.
Because the premise, it just writes itself.
This-
Santa Claus goes to a house, has to break them out. It also reminded me a bit like Hot Fuzz, like the last scene where it's a bit, the fights are graphic. Also, when he's first fighting, it's a brawl, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's not a fighter. When he first begins, he's very much clumsily, bumbling around, fighting. Yeah, he's like a bit of a drunk.
Kind of is.
He is a drunk.
I do like as well, they actually do, again, because it's a Santa film, they do lean into that. He is just Santa. The bank robbers have a whole moment in there being like, guys, I genuinely think this is the real Santa.
They're like, shut up.
And then he's not real. None of that is real. It's all bullshit. And then they're literally like, oh my God, it's the real Santa. But they've all got a beef with him. They've all got a gripe with him about like a present they never got or something like that. I love it.
Do you know what I think also? Now that I've left my job, it's quite relatable. After working many Christmas days, I can see why he's on the fucking edge.
Oh, yeah.
It's relatable.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the joke in it about all the video games being gifted as presents?
Oh, that and the money
Yes.
was brilliant. And the Amazon Prime boxes not even been wrapped. I think it's a sad state of affairs. I mean, I am that kid.
Yeah, just like your present giving.
Yeah. But the video game thing made me laugh when he's like in dire need and he's like, well, I need to get something. He's like, video game, fuck! I was going to say, special mention, David Harbour was excellent.
So good.
Yeah,
I don't think there's
he was built for this role.
Yeah, it was perfect cast. Especially after the back of Stranger Things.
What would that have looked like to be plunked on his desk in front of him? Being like, well,
I bet he had the best time.
I think he had a great time, but just his agent must have just gone up to him and go like, now David, you're obviously riding high after Stranger Things. How have you thought about playing the most iconic character in all of fiction? And he went, Jesus. He went, another one. He went, I think Harry Potter's done. And he went, no, David, please be quiet and listen to me. And then he went, Detective Hopper. I went, no, you've just done that, David, please. And then it went, it's Santa Claus. All right, you just want to play Santa Claus. And he went, who's that? And that is how I imagine the meeting went.
He played Hellboy as well, didn't he? Before?
He did in 2019.
I think he's just built for playing a slightly grumpy, violent character, much as I imagine you would play in a film.
Your words hurt. Honestly, I think before getting into spoilers, definitely recommend it. It gets nan approval from me.
Yeah, I would give it nan approval.
This is I think the morning and afternoon of Christmas Day, you sit there and you watch the snowman and all that, and then when the evening comes,
What's this, Nan?
You and she's going to go, I bloody well approve of that. So yeah, nan approved. This is the evening Christmas film.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised when you said we were watching Violent. I thought, because you both hate Christmas, and I thought this is just going to be some really terrible graphic film, but actually it was really good fun.
It was good fun.
It was very good fun.
I did.
Unanimous nan approval.
Nan approved.
Oh, great.
Very good, Harry.
I know this podcast.
Okay, so spoiler-wise...
Spoilers.
I was saying about how he gets better at fighting and he gets more magical as the film goes on when he starts to believe.
Yeah.
So that really comes to shine when he gets the hammer and he turns into a hammer bro.
That sequence is fantastic.
It's so good.
He gets that right at the end, doesn't he?
Mid. So that's when the army unit come in. And she's like, ha ha ha, my special forces are turning up, and they've like, no, I betrayed you because of money. And
which is mad. The fact that can you imagine the special forces turning up? It's like, who's the target? Santa Claus.
Again. You won't escape my clutches this time. Oh, and fuck his fucking reindeer. I know they go and get the spare sack, but when they leave, Santa's sack. I'm saying it.
Go on, talk more about Santa's sack.
Santa's sack is intact, right? So when they leave, for all they know, everything's hunky dory.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the film, he's like, oh, he's shouting at them, and he's like, oh, you brought my sack back. How did they know?
Yeah, how did they know?
How did they know? They didn't know.
Power of Christmas.
Christmas magic.
Ah,
fuck, it's bullshit.
We can't be doing logic in this. He literally puts a bloke up a chimney at the end.
That is something from Mortal Kombat.
Brutal.
That is a finisher.
I didn't quite understand that point of he couldn't use his magic to go up the chimneys at certain points. Was that in...
That's because he didn't believe.
Right, okay.
Because he couldn't... Use the magic.
Yeah.
He hadn't had enough magic up his nose.
Yeah. And we've all been there. I don't know how much Christmas I'm trying to stuff up my nose and then try and climb up a chimney, but
Mum always tries to stop me. I'm
But I-
too wiry for
I
it.
always win. And the funny thing is, we don't even have a chimney. So where's the fireplace?
I know I can be quite stupid with stuff like this, but when at the start of the film, when you've got all the staff that are getting everything ready for their Christmas party and stuff, all I could think was, fucking hell, they're miserable. And then I understood why, because they're about to heist them. Fair enough.
Also, yeah, but I would be miserable even if I wasn't about to heist it, because I'm being made to work, Christmas Eve?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretentious rich family that fucking hate everyone.
I've got family to go into. Well, maybe. Can of mulled cider to heat up.
The kettle's not going to boil itself.
Well, this actually takes place on Boxing Day.
What?
Does it? No, it can't do.
Well, I thought it did.
Santa doesn't
can it-
arrive on Boxing
Exactly.
Day.
No, come
Well,
on. You got a fucking mare.
My notes say Boxing Day is more violent than I thought.
It's not Boxing Day, it's Christmas Day.
No, they say Boxing
It was
Day.
Christmas Eve.
No,
You
it's
were surprised by it, and then
No.
you were like,
I'm Googling
do
this.
Americans not?
No, I was surprised that Americans didn't know what Boxing Day was.
What?
Yeah,
Why does not have Boxing Day?
apparently.
A lot of people.
For American listeners, so Boxing Day is the day that you are legally allowed to kick the shit out of your nan.
It's an old English tradition.
Old English tradition, old as time
Yeah,
itself.
it started when we sailed over to the Irish, and
So
it's got to be Christmas Eve.
it is Christmas Eve.
well, then why do they mention Boxing Day?
I don't know. Why do they mention Boxing Day when they don't even have Boxing Day? Are you sure you're talking sense? I'm calling it now bullshit. I cannot believe you're both looking at it. It's a film. It's a Christmas film.
Harry, we're talking, please.
You're not. You're looking at your phones. I'm talking.
Harry, we're researching, please. It doesn't actually say, so it could actually be. It could be in March. Could be in March.
I think Harry's just had an aneurysm.
It's Christmas Eve because she says we might not have another Christmas, so let's open our Christmas presents right now.
Oh yeah, hang on. In a mid-credit scene, Bert vlogs next to a dead mercenary, telling his viewers that Santa's real and warning them to behave during Christmas. The film is set in March. And it says it right here on Wikipedia.
Did you just write that?
Let's move on.
Well, either
So
way.
it's definitely Christmas Eve.
It definitely is.
Yeah, but why do they quote Boxing Day?
Obviously Christmas Eve and Christmas night, isn't it? Obviously. Because he's dropping off presents. At the end of the film, he's going,
Alright, it is Christmas.
I know it is! I can't believe you're still researching it.
Oh no, it might be Boxing Day because there's a time difference. Are we sure it's set in the US?
Yes. It starts off in the UK. And
Does it?
It does, in Bristol.
Oh bloody hell, it's a sticky bloody hell,
Bristol, mate.
Oh, I'm bloody sooty in the chimney, lads.
And this is in my fucking notes, right? Write this down. Right? Oh, I'm kicking off. Because it's dark on the first scene when he's in Bristol, having a pint of lager.
Allegedly.
Right?
Oh, I just will be canned
then-
cider in the microwave.
And then it fucking skips to America where it's daytime, right? Because of the time difference, it's daytime. He's picking up his daughter and they drive to the cunt mother's and then they have Christmas Eve there and Christmas Day there.
I can explain this whole thing.
I just did.
It's much simpler than that.
This is meant to be a surface level film.
It's much simpler than
Is
that.
this the best film we've ever reviewed?
Someone says Christmas is alright, but you Americans don't celebrate my favourite holiday. Someone says, oh yeah, what? And the person says, as he's about to punch them, Boxing Day.
So it's a one-liner.
So
That's where you were confused.
what I've learned from this is that I should take better notes.
What I've learned is how to get Harry with a stick. Literally poke him. It's great.
Harry started Boxing Day already by punching
For the viewers,
me in face.
Harry's got his hood up. Now it's fully on.
I have a question for you. If you
I don't even know where we're at. What was the last thing we were talking about? I blacked out.
I have a question for you if you calm down.
I've counted backwards from 10. Proceed.
Right. So
What's your favourite thing doing Boxing Day?
shout out to Vic and Rob as I ask this question, because sometimes me and Harry like to play a game with our good friends Vic and Rob. Who is the real villain in this film for you?
I mean, the mum's got to be up there.
Yeah.
She's a horrible piece of shit with the oil money.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has that dirty oil
Oh, yeah,
money.
that is how they make their money, isn't it?
And then the main character, he's not great, the dad, because he goes and steals the oil money, stashes it, and he's like, I'm going to fix all of my problems with money that's stolen. He wants to restart his marriage. So that's why he was planning on robbing all of the money and then having a new start.
Selfish reasons.
Selfish reasons. The fucking sister and her other half, they're useless, and the son, they're all horrible.
Do you think?
I'd say actually, apart from Santa and the little girl, they could all die.
And the bad guys.
No. The grandmother needs to die.
Yeah.
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 But if you had to pick the real villain, who would it be?
One.
Yeah.
Grandmother.
It's grandmother, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
And her voice. How does she talk like that?
Oh, you're back in Bristol?
Yeah.
And when when she finds out that the son steals her money and she's reading the note that he left her with no expression on her face, it's because she's deep down going, yeah, I thought this might happen.
She respects it. Because she's like, oh, it's just exactly what I would do. She's like, you don't get rich by being nice.
I respect you because it's exactly the same thing I would have done.
Yeah.
It's just steal money. Great. Is this what I need for your
But it's okay
approval?
because he sets fire to 100 grand at the end. So that makes him a good person.
He does do.
You were quite upset by that.
I would be
by what?
upset.
No, I was upset with how he was setting fire. So he was setting fire to wads, and I'm like, no. You've got literally fucking fan them out, you monk.
Where's my
And he
money
did it.
burning oil?
And he did it for like 3 seconds. It was like, well, that's not working. I don't know.
What was the most inventive kill in this film, do you think? I think for me, the one when he's got his sack at the car. Just trying to have a professional recording session.
For once.
When he's got his sack and he it's in the trailer, but it's the bit when he just stabs and he pulls out, he just puts his knife into the sack and he pulls out a present. That's not anything with that, I think. And again, the video game.
Yeah.
But I just love that scene. So inventive.
I like it when he wields the hammer for the first time, I think, is it in a barn?
It's just like an outhouse type place, isn't it?
I'm not a Santa Claus expert because I hate Christmas apparently.
He's an axe wielding murderer.
Just a wax wielding murderer. Are you all right?
What sort of wax? Like hair wax removal or wax? Or
it's really hot. Oh no, it's fine now.
Like wax on, wax off.
Oh, I kind of like it actually.
You know, he gets tied up with the fairy lights towards the end.
Yeah.
There was absolutely no way that you'd be able to break out of fairy lights. I think that's actually the most secure way of kidnapping anyone.
Cuff 'em, boys. And it's just someone with some fairy lights.
There was no way you'd untangle that, Bess.
I have a question for you two. Where do you think the sequel's going to go? Because there is.
Oh, you had to laugh, otherwise you cry. Oh, I don't know. Do you go with a new actor, or do you think it's David Harbour again?
He has, to give you that bit of context, he has confirmed he will come back for a sequel.
Yeah, I don't.
Then it's got to be Mrs. Claus. It's got to be there. So who do you have as Mrs. Claus?
There is a name he would like to have.
Millie Bobby Brown.
It's not Millie Bobby Brown.
Is it Lily Allen?
It's not Lily. Lily Allen?
His wife.
His wife's Lily Allen?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just thought, like, are you alright? You're on Lily Allen kick recently.
Yeah, that's an outdated reference.
Wow. I did not know that. His wife's Lily Allen. Fair enough. Yeah. So David Harbour has expressed interest in seeing Charlize Theron in the role.
Oh, okay.
Which could work. And I think because this one did well enough and it didn't take itself too seriously, I reckon if you said to someone like Charlize Theron or someone of that calibre, being like, look, come and play Mrs. Claus, you'll do a few fight scenes, it will be a laugh, you'll have a good time, come and do it, and it'll be 2 weeks.
Would you want her to be equally as grumpy, or would you want her to be the opposite of him?
No, I would love her to be like the sweet loving one, but then when she snaps, she really snaps.
Absolutely. Yeah, super happy, cheery.
Yeah.
Complete opposite. Maybe I think you could do it where it's not set maybe at Christmas, but just before, and it's at his factory, and his factory gets under siege, and it could be him and the missus and the elves versus
nice,
a platoon.
Yeah,
Have you been reading this? It's almost that.
Is it?
Yeah, you should be writing.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Take off your scarf and wield this pen.
So I can see them doing this. In December of this year, when the director confirmed that there was potential for Mrs. Claus, the North Pole, and the elves factoring into the story.
Well, fair enough. So,
Trivia.
I've got some trivia. The window in the attic that Trudy looks out of, you might have recognised it. It's the same window that Caesar looks out.
Yes.
I was going to say that to you when we were watching it. It looked the same.
And it's the shared universe that I never knew I needed.
This is just
Elves together, strong.
just before Planet of the Apes starts.
Yeah, James Franco bought their house.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh God.
Hopefully retiring.
Before the controversy.
Yeah, before retiring.
Yeah.
Violent Night 2 is just Santa versus the apes.
That's what we want.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
So,
Sorry to interrupt your trivia, but we didn't talk about Trudy and her role in it, and
and the Home Alone-esque.
yeah, and the Home Alone aspect of it. I'm going to put it out there. I found her a bit annoying.
She's a plot device.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found it was a little bit sweet, her connection with Santa, but
Yeah.
like there were just some bits that didn't add up, like when she just ran away from the bad guys and stuff. I don't know.
What should she have done?
I don't know.
Run
just didn't-
towards.
Shiv them.
And
Shiv
she
them at the
was,
crotch shins, just like, ooh.
who are you wanking?
I was shivving. No, I wasn't wanking, I was shivving. Oh, we used to be such a highbrow podcast, maybe.
I really enjoyed the X-rated Home Alone traps that she made.
Yes.
They were cool.
Like the fucking nail through the chin.
Yeah, they were
That was horrific. Yeah, and then the bowling ball that cracks him.
Oh,
But she's just laying on the sofa in front of them, just openly talking to Santa on a walkie-talkie. Like.
Because they all think she's fucking just talking to herself.
Yeah.
But
and
no one
nobody-
pays her any attention.
No, because she's 7 talking to Santa.
If I was robbing a place, like I'm about to do to this massive house we're in now, if I was going to rob it and then I see Stacey talking to the Easter Bunny over a radio, I'm like, well, she's fucking crazy. And then suddenly the Easter Bunny turns up behind me and shanks me. I'm like, oh!
No, I thought she brought that element to it. She was the Kevin McAllister.
Yeah, and like you said, if he said it's taking so much reference from Home Alone, you do need to have a child character in there to be like...
Yeah, and they even steal like a lot of the tricks.
Yeah, they do.
They did, yeah, it was good. It was
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
So, Mr. Scrooge, the bad guy, was originally going to be called Mr. Grinch, but they couldn't clear the name and couldn't get the rights to it.
For God's sake.
So they had to go with Mr. Scrooge.
And I bet that was just to be like spiteful. Or,
Maybe they thought the film was going to be successful, so they didn't want to get
yeah,
bad.
or that they're like, oh, we don't need to tarnish the name
Yeah.
of the Grinch.
I think they probably wrote to Jim Carrey and he said, I don't want to be associated with such a violent movie.
Yeah.
Oh, because Kick-Ass 2.
And he went, sorry, I'm
Old
so...
reference.
He went, I'm not interested. I'm only committing to Sonic.
Is this Sonic related? After Santa Claus takes out some of the insurgents, Scrooge asks whether the protagonist could be a small town cop with 5 kids.
Oh.
Some people might know that as a reference to Stranger Things, where he is a small-time cop with 5 small kids.
Oh.
The last trivia is a question, actually. So, what's the body count?
Oh,
My favourite segment of the action films we do. Right. Oh, there's so many special
I
forces,
am going
guys.
to go for 45.
I'm going to go for 27.
43.
There's 43!
44 counting Santa as he dies. But then obviously comes back to life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dialing it back to 43.
now we know that Santa can die.
Yeah, but you just have to believe and then he's alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that wraps up our review. I think it was good fun. Sorry that we missed out Trudy. I'm sure she'll get over it.
Yeah.
She'll make an appearance at Boxing Day.
Exactly. We'll have her on as a guest. I'll message her later.
Absolutely. Beg your
Maybe
pardon.
I won't.
Sorry, you're going to message a child?
Innocently.
Oh, that's what they all say.
Take it away, Stacey.
Hitch up that sled and let's take off.
We've been Nerds Against Normality. Catch all of our latest episodes every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcast from. Please follow, rate, like us on social media for more exclusive content. And if you have a question or something you want us to review, please email us at nerdsagainstnormalitypod@outlook.com. Bye!
Bye-bye.
Rice Krispies. Well, here we are again for another random Ben fact. We're up to number 58 now, I believe. Ben was once invited to a registry office, but due to already being on a register, he was unsure if he should attend. Stay tuned for more Ben facts next week.